bravely down into live stream, as I guess we're calling these things. They're becoming very regular recently, but I haven't done one of these in I think about 3 weeks. It's about 3 weeks since I've been on here with you guys. And I thought, you know what? It's a Sunday night. I better get back on here and do one of these. So we did something a little bit different with the opening thing, the lead in. We had a little countdown going on, which is something new that we've tried. And I thought give you guys sometimes I don't give you guys enough warning. I just kind of post a picture on Instagram, or I just kind of appear on here, and you guys are, you know, just kind of, some of you have been saying that you've been missing the beginning, like the first like half hour or so. So I thought I'd try and drop the stream like half an hour early, get you guys all in here, which has been awesome. I've seen everyone in here kind of like chatting away amongst yourselves, which is awesome. You've been waiting for me to jump on, and here we are. Now I'm gonna try and cap this at about an hour tonight. I always say that, and then I always go over. We'll see what happens. I don't want to try and push it too much today, so maybe an hour and a half-ish. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But thank you all for joining me here in the chat. As always, it's gonna work as it always does. You guys fire away with some questions, and I'm gonna answer as many as I can. Unfortunately, the reality is there's so many of you guys in these chats these days that I just simply can't get to every single question. So Please, I do request, as it says down there, please respect others and don't spam the chat. It's gone now. But please don't spam the chat, because it annoys everyone. It gets me a little bit aggravated as well, and I don't like that. I like to be happy and cheery when we're in here. So please just don't spam the chat with your question. If I haven't answered your question after like 15 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes, feel free to ask it again, but don't like copy paste, because it annoys everyone, and I will like kick anyone out of the chat who does that, because it does annoy people. I think that's pretty fair. Other than that, we're open for questions for whatever. I won't answer questions with people asking about characters I should be doing for Cartoon Evolution, because it's just the same questions over and over again. And I will preface it from the beginning. I will do every major character eventually. I can only do one a month, but I will get there eventually. Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd, Pepe Le Pew, the Jetsons, Hanna-Barbera, they'll all get their dues at some point or another. So just please, I just have some patience while I do that. Of course, we have got old mate Rick is modding again. He's moderating the chat, and he's going to be sending in questions over on this other screen over here that I've got going, so that I don't miss any good juicy questions that you guys have got out there. And look, I always tend to ramble. I tend to ramble a lot in these things, so I'm going to stop rambling, and we're just going to start taking some questions. I can see there's a lot of questions in already. I can see a few people are saying the microphone audio is bad. I've just tried to turn it up, and I've moved the microphone a little bit closer. I'm hoping it sounds better. I'm like 10 seconds behind on the chat, I think. So just let me know if the microphone does sound any better now that I've kind of fixed it a little bit. I hope it's okay. It seems to be okay in my little screen here. I'm almost peaking on the audio meter thing. Look, a lot of people are saying, I love your Cartoon Evolutions or that. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Well, Wagsmith YTP says, basically, you will be doing any requests, just not now or late. Just please, no, I'm happy for you to, like, suggest things, but it's always the same suggestions over and over again, and there's only so many times that I can say, yes, I will do that character eventually. So just maybe think of some other question that might actually get answered, or that you think might be more worth asking, because I do get those questions all the time. And I mean all the time, on everything. Okay, so let's get to the questions. I also want to ask where people are coming from tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It's different times. It's almost 11:30 p.m. here in Australia. I know it's probably like, what is it, like 9 a.m. over in like New York, and we've got like 2 p.m. in the United Kingdom, my lovely second home over there. So just let me know where you're coming from. I'd love to know where everybody's jumping on from and everything. So let's start taking some questions. We have got I'm just trying to check both screens here, try and make sure I haven't missed anything. Any channel name ideas asks, have you ever played Animal Crossing? This is surprisingly, a lot of people have asked me if I play Animal Crossing. I don't. I'm just give me 1 second. I need to fix my light here because it's just absolutely glaring on my face. And I think that's maybe a little bit better if I turn that. I don't know. That's all right. No, I don't really have time for games. I don't play a lot of mobile games. I don't really play a lot of any kind of games. I have a PS4, and I kind of just play sporadically. I'm so busy, whether it's the channel or watching movies or whatever, I find very little time for games, but I do enjoy playing games. I just finished playing Star Wars Jedi, what was it called? Jedi Fallen Order. Really loved it. Thought it was fantastic. And I've just kind of started on Red Dead Redemption, but that's something that I feel like I need to like really focus on and like actually have like a couple of hours to spend on it at a time. I struggle to find time. So no, I don't play Animal Crossing or anything like that. I also get asked a lot if I play that Looney Tunes World of Mayhem. No, I don't really play that either. C. Gonzalez asks, hey Dave, do you love Looney Tunes? Of course I love Looney Tunes. And I've got my, I've got my Looney Tunes t-shirt on again today, which is That's All Folks, underneath the Marvel jumper that we got on right there. It's a bit chilly here in Australia today. It's been very cold today. Logan Gailey asks, what is your favorite cartoon evolution video so far? I don't know. I find it really hard to pick. I think I really like the writing that I did on the Betty Boop video. I just think I don't know, there was just something about the way that I wrote that. I was just very happy, very proud of my writing that I did on that. But I think overall my favorite one is Bugs Bunny, because I mean that Bugs Bunny video made this series, and that one actually just crossed over 1 million views not that long ago, which is amazing. Thanks all you guys out there for watching and rewatching and everything, because I know these videos don't hit 1 million unless people are actually rewatching, which is awesome. And he's actually, over the last couple of days, he's become my most viewed video ever here on YouTube, which is amazing. It's overtaken my Avengers Infinity War post-credit scene video that I did. And that was like a video that I whipped up in like 2 hours one night after I saw the movie. So it's really amazing that something that I, spent a lot of time writing and editing, 2 weeks making, has actually become my most viewed video. And I think that's awesome. So thank you guys. But yeah, so it would probably have to be that Bugs Bunny video, I think. I love that guy at home a lot. This light's still annoying me a lot. I just need to fix it. I don't know if we're really ever going to fix it, but maybe if I just sort of... I don't know. We'll fix it. We'll fix it eventually. Maybe. Probably not. That'll do. Just let me. If this is like I can see it like really glaring on my face. If it's annoying, let me know, and I will actually fix that light. Just let me know in the chat. Luigi Marinus Gaming says, when do you think the trailer for Riot and the Last Dragon will come out? I honestly don't know. I don't expect it anytime soon, simply because the movie is not coming out anytime soon. The movie's not going to be out until next year, really, until the end of next year, I don't think, anyway. When's it? I think they pushed it back to like mid next year, July, August-ish. I think it's just going to keep getting pushed out. These movies, they're just going to keep pushing these movies. Riot and the Last Dragon, I feel, is going to be the Christmas movie next year. I don't know. That's just kind of the feeling that I get, and I wouldn't expect a trailer for a while. I don't know if they have people working on that movie at the moment. I think probably not, or if there are, maybe there are some staff working on it from home or whatever. But I feel like we might be a little way off for a trailer on that. I don't know. We will see, but I don't think it would be anytime imminently. I mean, they've only just started ramping up the marketing campaign for Soul. I saw there's a new trailer up. A couple of little like featurette videos and stuff went up over the last couple of days. So that's like the one that they're really focusing on. Maybe when Soul comes into cinemas, maybe a week or two before that, we might get one. I'm not too sure. Samuel S. says, do you have a HBO Max subscription on a VPN? I don't have a VPN. I do have a VPN, but I don't have HBO Max. The problem with trying to sign up for these things on a VPN is that they kind of know that you're using a VPN, or sometimes it's like the American streaming service will only take an American credit card, so that with my Australian credit card I can't sign up. it's just not even really worth looking into. They might like red flag me or whatever. I'm just happy to wait until we get those Looney Tunes cartoons and stuff here. A lot of the like exclusive content is coming to our cable Foxtel here in Australia, so I'll be able to see most of like the HBO Max exclusive stuff. So I'm happy to wait. Gary Leiderman, thank you for joining me, Gary. He's the long-time subscriber. Have you watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yet, Dave? Yes, twice. Love it. It's awesome. I caught that one in cinemas. It's one of few movies I actually caught in cinemas over the last couple of years. I loved it in cinemas, and then I watched again recently when I bought it on 4K. Ultra high definition. I love it. I think it's great. It's like Tarantino's masterpiece. It's an incredible movie, incredible. It was even better the second time around. Julius Vanderbosch asks, are these Star Wars 4Ks worth the upgrade? I think so. I think they look really nice. I mean, I'll buy Star Wars on any format, and the 4Ks are really the best I've ever seen Star Wars, and I've been watching Star Wars since VHS. So I think they're worth it. I mean, they're fairly cheap here in Australia. I picked them up for like $15 each. I know they're a little bit more expensive over in the UK, the US and the UK. Our media is a lot cheaper here for some reason. But I picked them up fairly cheaply, and I thought they were worth the upgrade anyway. I haven't watched them all through properly, but I have like skimmed through them and stuff. They look really nice. I really liked it. What else have we got? Trying to find some more questions. Let's see what old mate Rick has got over here. Kurt Bruining says, why did you pick the Flintstones for Cartoon Evolution in July? Of course, Flintstones is the one I'm working on at the moment. I'm like partway through editing that right now, and that's launching July 7, I believe. Why did I pick it? Well, it's the 60th anniversary of the Flintstones this year, and it just kind of felt like a good month to do it. I just kind of felt like, all right, it's time to finally do Flintstones. Some months, like my Cartoon Evolutions launch on, well, every month, my Cartoon Evolutions launch on the first Tuesday of every single month. Some months, like this month particularly, the Tuesday lands on like the second day of the month, so I have actually less time to put a video together than if it was like in the second week of the month. So coming up July, the first Tuesday of the month is the 7th. So essentially I get like a full extra month a full extra week, full extra month, that'd be nice. A full extra week to work on it. So last month I did Roadrunner and Coyote because I figured that was one that I didn't need as much time to spend on. But the Flintstones one, because it's such a vast franchise that spans television series that go for that have been going for 60 years, I thought I needed like that extra week to work on it. And I just thought July seemed like a good month to do that. Had a little bit of extra time, and I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about this one, guys. I think you're going to really like it. I'm excited. It's good to mix it up a little bit. My the last two Looney Tunes ones I haven't performed as well as some of the other videos, so I feel like maybe there's a little burnout for the Looney Tunes ones, so we're trying to push for a couple of other things, and I really like the idea of going into the Hanna-Barbera universe, and I've had a lot of fun exploring that as well. What else we got? Costas de Oswaldo says, before YouTube, what used to be your job? Costas is an old subscriber as well, long-time subscriber. Thank you so much for joining me. Before YouTube, what was my job? I spent like, I don't know how many years, probably the best part of 10, 11, 12 years working out of a photographic studio as an assistant, doing freelance work, and it was very sporadic for the first like maybe 5, 6, 7-ish years. I was doing it from the age of like 15 or whenever we were allowed to start working, 15, 16, whatever it is, I can't remember now, but I started doing that, and I was kind of be sporadic. It would be during school holidays, if I had days off, if they needed me in, a day here and a day there. But sort of after I finished high school and I finished university, they kind of took me on more full-time, and I was in there fairly regularly. It almost became like a full-time thing. I was freelancing, but I was essentially full-time there for a while. And then kind of towards the end there, my shift started getting wound back a little bit, and it was kind of like the opportune moment to kind of like step back and start focusing on this channel, which is awesome. And that's around the time this whole thing kind of started taking off a little bit. But yeah, so I spent a good decent amount of time doing freelance work as a photographic assistant, working on anything from like fashion shoots, product photography, like for catalogs and stuff, shooting like location work, houses, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was a bit of fun, but sometimes it was a bit stressful. But I enjoyed my time there. Good people there. Ono's Film Review says, what are your full thoughts on the Suburban Looney Tunes show from the 2010s? So that was the Looney Tunes show from the All right, I believe we are back. Everything seems to be working okay. We had a couple of dropouts. We came back in. We dropped back out. We're back in, and I believe everything looks to be working all right. I'm telling you, Australian internet is the absolute crap. Australian internet is terrible, and this is literally how we live here. The internet's just constantly dropping out. Like, this is why we gotta support that physical media here in Australia, because you can be watching something on Netflix and it just drops out. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to some questions here. I think it's all working fine now. We do have a couple of people in here who are spamming questions. Please, again, I asked for people not to do that. But particularly people are spamming requests for Cartoon Evolution, so it's a double whammy. So please, just don't annoy people and whatever. So and at that, Cartoon Evolution focuses on cartoon characters, not characters from live action, not characters from whatever. I get some very strange like Cartoon Evolution requests. Cartoon Evolution, cartoon characters. Kyle R. Dent asks, which Hanna-Barbera vehicle would you most like to own? I would love to own. I've actually got a model of it right here. I found this. I can't believe this. I found this like behind a bunch of DVDs on like my DVD cabinet. I completely forgot existed, just hiding away. It's this guy right here. He's got to be Fred Flintstone's little like mobile car thing, whatever you want to call it there. The Flintstone mobile. Awesome. How cool is this? I just found it. I was like, I completely forgot about that. So anyway, yeah, I think I would like to own that. I mean, that'd be cool. Imagine rolling down the street in like the Fred Flintstone, like prehistoric car thing. Be awesome. A couple of people were saying, sorry, my internet's bad. No, your internet's not bad. It's my internet's playing up. I apologize about that. Again, I think I did say we've got old mate Rick monitoring the chat today. So everyone down there in the comments, please say hi to old mate Rick and say thank you to him for modding. And this light's still annoying me. Give me a second. I'm gonna fix this light. This is my mission for tonight. I'm fixing this damn light over here. I don't want to turn it off because then we got no light in here. That's better. It's better than it was anyway. Okay. Naomi Jaramillo asks, classic cartoons or modern cartoons? I have a huge soft spot for the classic cartoons, but then I grew up with stuff like The Simpsons is like one of my favorite TV series of all time. I grew up with all the Nickelodeon stuff like Rugrats and the Cartoon Network stuff like Dexter's Laboratory and just all that kind of stuff. So I feel like they're still fairly modern, even if like I guess I'm showing my age, but some of these shows are like 20 or 30 years old now almost. But I still kind of consider them modern. But I think there's a lot of great like cartoon series being made at the moment, and I don't want to discredit any of the incredible artists, animators and stuff that are working on these shows at the moment. I think it's just different times, different ways of doing things, different kind of series. I still enjoy Family Guy. I just love cartoons. We've got to love animation. I think Disney is still pumping out really great films, and you've got a lot of great. I watched the Monsters, what's it called? Hotel Transylvania films recently, Sony Pictures films. I really enjoyed them. Just bit silly, fun movies. They get a bit tiring towards the end. I think I get a bit bored of them after like 45 or 50 minutes once they start getting a bit repetitive, but I enjoyed them. And stuff like I don't know, the stuff that comes out of, you're gonna hate me, but I love the Minions stuff, like the Illumination Entertainment stuff. I just love it. It's just like, shut your brain off and enjoy some just stupid fun. I love it. I just think, I just love animation. You gotta appreciate and respect all eras, but I do have a very big soft spot for the classic stuff. I mean, the classic stuff's just in a league of its own, really, isn't it? And I apologize. I am probably gonna pronounce this wrong. I believe it's Nadel. I apologize if I've got that wrong. What do you think of the new DuckTales? I haven't watched all of it. It's not a series I've watched in its entirety, but what I have seen of it, I really like. It's really good. It gets that heart and soul of the original series down so beautifully, and I love the voice act. The voice work in it is great. David Tennant as Scrooge, I think, is fantastic. I think it's a really, really good show. We've got super chats coming in, and I do like to say, I know who this person is, and they're trying to troll me a little bit. I do like to say that I will answer any question within reason, but I'm getting trolled with the super chat. So I do respectfully have to say I'm not going to answer a silly question like that. But thank you very much, Jackson H, who I do know is a friend of mine. So I'm not being a jerk and not answering someone's super chat question. I can just tell. I just know he's down the street with another one of my mates. They live together and they're having a good laugh right now. I can tell it. They're just absolutely killing themselves laughing just down the street there. I can just tell it right now. They probably, just enjoying the Sunday night before they got to go to work. So thank you. I appreciate the super chat. I'm not answering that question. You're very silly boys. Well, let's get some other questions. I do say, if, like I said, there's a lot of questions coming in. If you do have a question that you really, really want answered, the best way to get it out, this is probably not the best, kind of follow on. But if you do want a question answered, and it's within reason, a question within reason, the best way to get me to answer it is to send in a super chat. So thank you again, Jackson H. But anyone else who does have a legitimate question within reason and definitely wants it 100% answered, I will answer it. Thank you so much. Let's have a look. Trying to get some more questions here. Gian Mika Rigot asks, what's your anticipated movie of 2021? Well, I feel like, I just don't know. I feel like anything from this year that I was looking forward to, it's probably going to get pushed into next year. I just don't know. Like, the movie schedules are just all over the place at the moment. It's hard to know what's coming out this year, what's coming out next year. I'm trying to think of something that was set for next year. It's probably going to be one of the Marvel movies. Was Doctor Strange set for 2021? I was really excited for that. Thor, but I think these have all been moved. Apparently we've got the Eternals. We've got Legend of the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man Far From Home sequel all coming 2021 at the moment, so any of them I'm excited for. But other than that, because everything's so up in the air, I can't actually think of what's coming out next year. Let me know in the comments. Julius Vanden Bosch asks, will you rank all the Disney animation movies all 58 in one video? Don't want to answer that yet. Reveal my grand plans. Well, because I'm very secretive. I am very secretive, and I don't like to kind of get too far ahead of myself and announce things well in advance. But because you lovely people are out here on a Sunday morning or a Sunday evening or a Sunday afternoon, I do like to give you little scoops every now and then. So I will answer that one. I will say, yes, I am going to be ranking all 58 Disney movies in a video, and I'm hoping it's probably going to be around August. Next month, July, I am planning to rank the post-Renaissance films, which is the last era that I need to rank. It's the last one that I haven't done yet. And by the way, really great reception to the Dark Age video. Fantastic. It's doing better than any other Disney ranking videos. And And the people who have been watching them have been going back and watching the old ones too, which is absolutely awesome. So yes, we will we'll be ranking that last era, that post-Renaissance era, and then the following month, or maybe the month that it just depends on my schedule, we will rank all 58 movies. It's gonna be exhausting. It's gonna be exhausting, but I'll do it. And then I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe set my sights on some of the Disney Toon Studio stuff. I don't know. Would you guys like to see that? We might do that. Everett Broadway says, "Hi Dave, can you say hi back, please?" Hi Everett Broadway. Thanks for joining me. Gamer Anthony, Marvel has 2 to 3 movies per year, and they all got bumped. I know. Well, apparently Black Widow's coming out this year still, but we'll see how that happens. We'll see whether that happens. That's what I'm trying to say. The Frosty Brothers says, "Dave, Maleficent 3 is happening. Is this true? I read it on many articles." No, that is probably never happening. Well, firstly, it has not been announced. This is not a project that has been announced officially by Disney. So that's not on the current release schedule. Secondly, I don't think there could have been plans to have done a third Maleficent, a Maleficent trilogy, more than likely. But the last movie was a box office bomb, and it was very, I guess, wasn't received very well by critics and audiences. So I don't think we'll see a Maleficent 3. But I don't know. I didn't think we'd see Maleficent 2. The first one did fairly well, but I think Angelina Jolie just had like a massive push. Powerful person in Hollywood, Angelina Jolie. And I think really it was her like pushing to get that movie done that did it. I don't know if they'll do a third one. Bonnie the Bunny says, "Dave, do you like the Jurassic Park franchise or the Jurassic World franchise?" I love it all. Jurassic Park's one of my favorite films of all time. Like, I grew up with this movie. One of the movies I've watched like more than some. I absolutely love it. Jurassic Park 2 is fairly good. Jurassic Park 3 is average. I liked the first Jurassic World. I didn't like the second one very much. But what do you do? Sometimes movies just ain't all that. But I'm really looking forward to the third one because it's bringing like the cast back from the Jurassic Park films and mixing it in. I think it's going to be awesome. And all the dinosaurs have escaped, haven't they? So we're going to have like dinosaurs in the real world again. And just kind of, I don't know. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to the next Jurassic. What's it called? Dominion or something? I can't wait. Gamer Anthony, why do you do this? I know it's interesting, but where do you get the ideas for this channel? I do this because I love it. And I guess, essentially, this is like... We're back. I apologize about that. I'm telling you, Australian internet is a disaster. Anyway, where were we? We're talking about why do I do this? Yeah, look, I think if I pass 100,000, I get that plate from YouTube. That's like a little bit of recognition. That's like, okay, maybe I can consider myself a YouTuber there. So I don't really want to say it's my job, but it is my main source of income at the moment. But I love it. I've always wanted to make movies as long as I wanted to. Like, I've always just been interested in making stuff, films, whatever. I have a deep love for documentary making. And I don't know. I just always I've always had these little projects that I've been doing. And YouTube is just one of these other little projects that I've had that just has luckily taken off. And... I don't know, I love it. I love doing this. It can get frustrating at times. It can get, especially when I'm like working on an evolution video and I have like a deadline to get to. I give myself like 2-3 weeks to make a 40-minute documentary. It's like full on crazy. But yeah, and ideas, I think the ideas just come from what you guys like to watch. I make a video, and if you guys like it, I make more videos like that. And if you don't like the video, I don't make more videos like that. Yeah, that's where the ideas come from, really. And there's all these things I want to do, all these things I want to talk about. And I think the internet's going crazy again. I'm sorry about this, guys. Sorry about this, guys. Like I said, Australian internet is a disaster. We actually just like added like the booster pack to our internet here, which is supposed to make the internet faster and less prone to dropouts. It's actually been worse. It's a disaster. So anyway, I don't know if you caught any of what I said because I noticed it was like buffering. My ideas really just come from what I'm interested in talking about, and really I go by what you guys watch. So I really I keep a watch on my statistics and stuff, and really what kind of videos you guys watch more really kind of dictates the kind of content that I make and the kind of ideas that spring from there. A lot of my stuff is I try to be as topical as possible. So I plan out, this is like my little diary here, and I plan out my month in advance. The first of every month I plan out my month in advance, and sometimes I'm like months ahead of myself. And it's just really, I base it around what movies are coming out, what's going to be relevant at the time. So, for example, I'm doing Flintstones this month for Cartoon Evolution. They're celebrating their 60th anniversary around this time of the year. So that's kind of informed that. This whole, like, pandemic thing has really kind of put a big, like, massive, like, channels come to a big crashing halt when it comes to, like, real kind of, what do you call it? Topical stuff. So there's a lot of movies I was going to be covering that I unfortunately have not been able to cover until they come out. So a lot of stuff, like I would do like movie reviews, I would do post-credit scenes things, deleted scenes videos, little editorials and stuff. That kind of stuff has kind of gone on the back burner for now until all these movies start coming back out. And yeah, don't want to ramble on too much. Apparently, I have got a super chat come through. Oh, that's right. I'm way up on the screen here, so I need to come down and find this super chat. Tim Silverman, $4. Thank you very much for the super chat. Right there, Tim Silverman sent in $4. There's another mate of mine. He's actually the other mate that's down the road with the other mate, probably sitting around having a laugh, and he says, "Laters on the Menjay." Absolutely, Laters on the Menjay, man. Laters on the Menjay. If you're a fan of I Love You, Man, you'll know that. Laters on the Menjay. Paul Rudd, my idol, my hero. Now, I did have... Thanks so much for the super chat, Tim. Look, these guys, very supportive friends, sending in super chats. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Even though one of them did ask a very silly question. But there you go. Laters on the Menjay, Tim. Now, I did have a question up here that I did want to answer, and that's why I was like a little bit far up on the chat. Nathan Fonta 95. Hey man, would you happen to know? Hey man, would you happen to know if Soul is getting released in Australia in November, like the US, or on Boxing Day? I'm seeing mixed things. The thing is, I actually have not received a release schedule from Disney for a long time. I'm just going to check my email for a second. I don't know the last time I don't think I've received a release schedule from Disney since before this whole like crisis thing. I'm going to check my email, but I don't believe they have announced anything really officially yet. So anything that you're probably seeing is probably like speculation at this point. I am going to check that for you once my email opens up. Disney release schedule. The last release schedule I received from Disney was, I don't even know, like ages ago. It's not even coming up. 29, there we go. What's that? That one. The last release schedule I got from Disney was January. So that would be all outdated now. So I don't actually know what's happening. I would say Soul is probably, I don't know, it'll probably get pushed. Probably, when's it supposed to open in the States? Like, November or Boxing Day. It's a Pixar film, but I feel like the thing is when Disney released like their big animated film at the end of the year, which should have been Raya and The Last Dragon, but that's getting pushed to next year. They always release that big Christmas film in November in the States for Thanksgiving. We've frozen again. I apologize about this. We've never had, it's never been like this before. We've never had a stream this bad before. I do apologize about that. Basically what I was saying, traditionally the November film that Disney releases comes out November for Thanksgiving over there, which is a bigger day at the cinemas in America because of Thanksgiving. But Boxing Day, so it's a bigger it's Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving Day day at the cinema in America usually does better than the Boxing Day or the Christmas Day. So the big Disney Christmas release comes out in the States in November for Thanksgiving, and then traditionally that release will come out here in Australia on Boxing Day. So I would probably say we will probably see Soul on Boxing Day. But again, I don't have anything official on that. The last release schedule I got from Disney was January. So, unfortunately, I can't really help you that. That's just kind of my speculation there. Julius Vandenbosch asks, are you planning on doing very in-depth evolution videos for franchises or characters like Star Wars, the MCU, Harry Potter, Anakin Skywalker? I love your videos. Thank you very much, Julius. I really haven't thought that far ahead. I would love to do more work on other franchise stuff, but really this cartoon evolution thing at the moment is taking up all my time, and it's I can't get... the reason I can only do one cartoon evolution a month is because they take me so long to make. 3 weeks to make one of these videos. There will come a time where I've run out of cartoon characters and I've run out of cartoon stuff to talk about, and you guys will be burnt out on all the cartoon stuff. So there will probably come a time where I'm going to have to try and branch out and do other stuff. I tried doing like an Iron Man evolution once. It didn't do very well. So I don't know. That's probably thinking like far into the future. But it is a good suggestion, and thank you very much. And hopefully I'll keep it in the back of my mind, and we'll see what happens in the future. Thank you. What else we got? Andrew Bailey says, we can't go to your house and give you a camera to film, or we might die of the... I can't say that word because YouTube will block me, but the big, the horrible thing that's going around the world at the moment. Don't leave your house. Stay at home. I don't need a camera. This is fine. It's my internet that's playing up. Yeah, no one leave your don't leave your house if you don't need to. That's silly. So silly. Roblox Adventure says, why did you dislike Jurassic World 2? I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was a good movie. I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was just derivative of the other films. I thought it was just lackluster. It wasn't as exciting or just really as good as I was hoping for. But that's okay. I mean, sometimes we don't like movies, and you know what? They're just movies, so we move on, and I look forward to the third one. MP says, hi, do you know when you'll do the rest of the Disney era rankings? I answered this one like 5-10 minutes ago, but maybe you weren't in here. That's okay. I'm hoping to do the post-Renaissance era in July, and then we'll probably do like a full 58 thing, like the whole 58 movies in like August or September. I just need to block someone here because they're like spamming the chat, and all their messages are going to like, they're being hidden because it's just silly spam. So I'm going to, what can I do? Put user in timeout. We're going to have to do that. Aiden Fitch, hey Dave, do you think Plain Crazy should get credit? Don't really know what you mean. I guess, do you mean should it get credit as the first Mickey Mouse? Because technically Plain Crazy was the first Mickey Mouse cartoon to be made, and then they made Steamboat Willie, but Steamboat Willie got released first because Plain Crazy was a silent film, and they did the soundtrack for Steamboat Willie and wanted to release that first, and then they went back and added sound to Plain Crazy. Should it get... I guess that's what you're asking, Martin. Should it get the credit as like that first film? I don't know. Maybe. No, I think Steamboat Willie, that was the first out the gate. That was the one that they really broke ground on, that really groundbreaking one. But Plain Crazy should get credit for being a good short, because it is a great short. Just trying to find some more questions here. Have we got any come over this screen here? Not at the moment. I'm going to try and scroll up a little bit and see if there's any questions here. Gary Leiderman says, internet's probably bad in Melbourne as everyone's stuck indoors watching Netflix. Exactly right. Internet's been really bad recently. Like, terrible. Terrible. Xander Balaloy says, if you run out of classic cartoon characters, will you do other modern cartoon characters except SpongeBob? I don't, like I said, I don't know. I just don't. I think once we get past the character, there are some modern characters that I do have in mind that I do want to be covering, but some characters that have been around for like 5 years, like how do you make it even like a 20 or a 10-minute video on that? You just simply can't. It's just something, these videos, you know, are specifically like in-depth 20 to 40-minute videos, like dissecting 70, 80, 60, 50 years worth of history. When you start getting to characters been around for like 5 years, have been in one series, there's no story there. There's no story there to make one of these videos. I'm up to the part in the chat now where I dropped out. John Forbes says, "Hey Dave, liking the look. Thanks, John. I've got my lockdown beanie on. This is my pandemic beanie. I've been working because my hair is just crazy at the moment. I haven't had a haircut in like 3 or 4 months, and I just been wearing my beanie a lot recently. And I haven't had a shave tonight. Usually I would shave before I go on screen, but I just like this kind of pandemic look at the moment. Potato Productions. What a good name. What a great name for a channel, Potato Productions. Who's your favorite voice actor? This is so tough. I mean, I don't want to single anyone out, but I love the work of Mel Blanc. Who doesn't love Mel Blanc? Like, he's the tip of the top of the chain. Him and June Foray, I mean, she's incredible. She did some incredible voice work. So those two are like at the top of the chain there. Eric Bowser, I think, is amazing. Some of the guys that have been on The Simpsons, like Dan Castellaneta, Nancy Cartwright, like I grew up with these voices, Tress MacNeille. These are like, I'm just thinking of these like voices that I recognize from my childhood, that have followed me throughout my life. Billy West as Fry. I mean, every character that I hear Billy West to, I just hear Fry, because I grew up watching Futurama. Loved it. But yeah, I think they're probably like at the top, but there's so many great voice artists out there at the moment. Jack Robin says, I do myself prefer sequels and reboots, but sequels show you more of the series. In movies, of course. What's your favorite? I always like sequels. I'm not huge on reboots. I mean, if there's no reason to do a reboot other than just like starting fresh, I'm not a huge fan. I like sequels, or I like spin-offs. So for example, we're talking about like the new Pirates of the Caribbean. They've just announced 2 more films that they haven't really said whether they're connected to the old franchise or whether they're spin-offs or a reboot or something. There's going to be one with Margot Robbie, Aussie, Margot Robbie. We've got Karen Gillan, who is supposedly doing one as well. And those ones, my thoughts on that is like, I would rather, instead of them reboot the franchise or do like, you know, have it disconnected from the old films. I feel like these old films, it's like nearly 20 years old. You've got almost 20 years worth of lore and storytelling and character building and world building. And I feel like, what's the point now, 20 years later, of rebooting that? You've got to make something new, make it, even if it doesn't have Jack Sparrow in it, have it set in that universe. So like a spin-off or like an offshoot kind of thing. That's how I always kind of, like, a hard reboot, I just think it's like a little bit lazy and just, it's just a little bit annoying. It's not great. So yeah, that's my thought on it. Zach Zilla says, do you like Disney Plus? Disney Plus has been okay. I haven't been huge on it. I think it's been a little bit lackluster. There's a lot of the stuff I already own, be it on Blu-ray, DVD. So there's not a lot of the older stuff on there for me to really watch. The only stuff that I really watch on there, the only stuff I do watch on there is is like the exclusive stuff. And that's so sporadic. Like, the movies are so few and far between, and so really there's only been 1 or 2 movies, exclusive movies, that I've actually really, really enjoyed so far. Togo I thought was great. I thought Noelle was really good. Lady and the Tramp was okay. Stargirl I didn't really like. Artemis Fowl I didn't really like. I didn't like at all. Timmy Failure was okay. I just feel like it's been fairly lackluster so far. I don't even have a full subscription. I'm only doing it like month by month, depending whether there's anything on to watch and like review for the channel. Otherwise, I find it very lackluster. But once they start rolling out more content, like the Marvel shows, we get more Mandalorian, all that kind of stuff. I think I'll really be able to get into it and maybe just like pay for that full year. But yeah, so far my thoughts have been, I feel like it's kind of been a little lackluster. What do you guys think about Disney Plus? Am I the only one that's feeling this way? I don't know. Jackson H says, this is a super chat, by the way. Thank you, Jackson 8, for sending a super chat. I really appreciate it. Have you seen any good horror lately? Now, you guys know I'm not a huge horror fan, but one of my favorite movies of all time is The Shining. Great, like psychological horror. I don't like gore films and like splatter films, all that kind of stuff. But I do like a good like character-led kind of a psychological horror. Or like a supernatural horror. One of my favorite movies of all the time is The Shining. I just adore it. And only not last night, Friday night, I watched Dr. Sleep for the first time. Bloody amazing film. I thought it was incredible. I watched the 3-hour director's cut. Just such a good movie. And that cut, I couldn't imagine going back and watching the theatrical cut now. I mean, I haven't seen the theatrical, but I couldn't imagine watching that movie any other way. Because it's just amazing. The pacing in it was fantastic. It's one of those 3-hour movies that feels... You know, sometimes you get a 3-hour movie that goes like that, and it's like, oh, that's in for like 3 hours. This movie feels 3 hours, but not in a bad way. It's kind of like, oh, I want more. I want more of it. Give me more. It just pays so beautifully. I also watched one recently called Bone Tomahawk, which is this really obscure, like, neo-Western film with Kurt Russell. Had quite a big cast. I can't remember who else was in it. I will look it up. And I thought that was incredible. And it had Matthew Fox, Patrick Wilkins, Richard Jenkins, and Lily Simmons, and Kurt Russell. That was incredible. This is an R-rated, like, it's like a Western set in the Old West, but then there is like this tribe of cannibals, almost like zombie-like kind of creatures. Like, that's kind of how they're set out. There's something a little bit supernatural about them, and it's almost like a supernatural horror set in the Old West, and I feel like it's gone under the radar. It was amazing. But the violence in it was like full on, like ripping people in half kind of stuff that I would not normally watch. And even I had to watch it like this. I had to watch it like that. It was too full on for me, the violence in that. But the movie otherwise, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. We've got Blu-ray Oz says, what do you think of the Michael Keaton Batman news? Man, I'm so excited. Michael Keaton is apparently getting back in the Batsuit in the Flash movie. They're going to do the whole Flashpoint thing, which opens up like the multiverse. And they're bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman. Michael Keaton is my Batman, guys. I grew up with Michael Keaton Batman. I'm a 90s kid. And I grew up with watching the Michael Keaton films. The Val Kilmer film, Batman Forever. I love it. I know you guys, people don't really like that one, but I love it. The George Clooney one even. But Michael Keaton for me is Batman, and I just can't wait to see him get back in the cowl and the suit and I'm so excited. See, I love just sitting here talking movies with you guys. I get very excited. I love my movies. I saw a couple of people above actually ask if I'm still going to be doing my podcast that I've been planning. And yes, I am. I'm planning it, and I really, really want to launch it in July. Whether that happens or not, I'm not sure. July, August is like my deadline that I'm setting myself, and I am going to be doing a podcast. It's really going to take the form of like me just kind of talking crap about movies, movies that are coming out, movie news. We'll have a guest on every episode, a guest host or like a guest. I'm hoping to get some guests that we can like interview. And it'll just essentially take the form of, I want it to be like a variety thing. I love variety shows. And I want it to be like, have like certain segments. Maybe we play games or something with a guest but specifically talking about movies that are coming out, movie news, movies that I've watched recently. Just give me a platform to talk about all this stuff that I'd love to talk about on the channel, but when I do, the videos don't perform very well. So yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that podcast, and it's going to be coming soon. It's going to be called the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. I'm really excited for it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I just realized we've going for an hour and a half. I said I was going to cap this at an hour. But we've been going for... Oh, no, we have only been going... No, because we had that 30-minute timer, didn't we? We had that 30-minute timer. I'm going to keep going for a little longer, but then we are going to cap it and we'll go. So, yeah, I've been going for about an hour. But because of all these dropouts and stuff, I'll give you a little extra time. I have a little bit of a deal going with my girlfriend. I guess it's... I told her, I said, I'm only going to be on for an hour. And she said, no, you're not. You should always say this, and you're on longer than that. And she said, if I stayed on for an hour, if I was only on for an hour, like if I could like actually restrain myself and stay on for an hour, she'd buy me a present. I like presents. I like getting gifts. But if I go over an hour, I have to buy her a present. I don't know. Am I feeling generous? Do I feel generous enough to have to buy my girlfriend a present? I think I buy her lots of presents. I buy her lots of gifts. I treat her well. But I think, look, I'm gonna take one for the team, for everyone here, and I'm gonna stay on a little longer, and we'll just end up buying my girlfriend a present or something. I don't know what I'll buy her. We'll get her something. I mean, it's my birthday coming up a couple of weeks' time, so she'll be getting me some presents for that anyway. I don't need any more presents. We'll get her something. I don't know what we'll get her. So I will, yes. Long story short, I've lost the deal, and I'm going to stay on for you guys for a little bit longer. Let's have a look. What other questions do we have coming through here? Art Media Fan 2002 says, which animation do you prefer, CGI or traditional? I love it all. I have a soft spot for traditional animation. But I love it all. I think it's all great, and I don't like to discredit anyone. I think just as much work goes into these CGI films than just as much work goes into these CGI films as goes into the traditionally animated films. I mean, but if you're talking about like Salome animation stuff, that's like on a whole different kind of level, but they don't do that anymore. But I love it all. I just think I don't like kind of pitting them both against each other because they're both just very, very different art forms. And I feel like you've got to have respect for both of them, and I don't want to discredit, you know, the fantastic artists that are working in one or the other medium. Gary Leiderman says super chats will pay for her present. Yeah, I've made like $14 in super chats tonight, so it'd be a little bit of a stingy present, I think. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll put that towards a present or something. Let's have a look. What else have we got coming through? Daniel Esselbach says, can you show us your home cinema? I actually did a video on that a couple of years ago. It's performed very well, like over 100,000 views, I think, of that one. You can still see that. I did a couple of years ago, but there's really, nothing has really changed. Nothing has really changed in the cinema since we did that video, so you can check that out, and it's still fairly recent. We want to update some of the gear, but it's all HD. We don't really have 4K in the cinema at the moment. We really want to upgrade, but we don't. It's all still very expensive, and we just kind of want to look into our options. We're kind of thinking like we'd like a 4K projector, but we're thinking it's going such the way that these televisions are getting so big now, like these big like plasma screens. LCD screens are getting so big. Like there's like our screen's like 2 or 3 meters, and you can get screens that are like 90 inch, 95 inch. They're very expensive. These are like 20, 30, 40, 100 grand screens. Obviously nothing we could afford, but one day these kind of things will be affordable, and we're thinking maybe, I don't know. I think the best way to watch 4K would be on a big like LCD screen as opposed to a projector. But it would just depend. We just need to look into what kind of stuff we need to do. But yeah, the video up at the moment is up to date. Just find, I don't know where that is. I think if you go into my like Blu-ray collection playlist on my homepage, you can find the home media review there. I think. Stupidness Studio, another good name. Did you ever watch any Disney sequels? If so, what was the worst? I watched a lot of them. Not all of them. The Lion King ones I thought were the best ones. The Aladdin ones were quite good. I enjoyed the Aladdin ones when I was younger, but I don't feel like they've held up that well over time. I watched them recently, didn't really enjoy them. One of the worst ones, I think the Hunchback of Notre Dame one was awful. The Pocahontas one was awful. The Mulan one was awful. I think those ones are kind of the pinnacle of just really bad Disney sequels. Yeah, I would say probably, I don't know. I feel like I should do like a ranking video of the sequels and the Disney Toon stuff, but that kind of means I have to sit through all these really bad movies. But will I take one for the team again? Maybe. If there's enough of you guys out there who want it, I'm just going to have to take one for the team and do it and put myself through it for a month or so. A couple of people asking about evolutions for video games. No, probably not. I'm not a big video game person. I don't really know much about video games and stuff, so probably no. The only ones I would ever really make any kind of exception for maybe are ones that have had like big cultural impact and have kind of crossed over into animation and film and stuff. We're talking like Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog. This is not me saying I'm going to be doing these anytime soon, but if I were to ever do any video game characters, it would be characters like that have had a big cultural impact and that I think could like warrant a very decent video. John Forbes, thoughts on Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time? I actually thought it was a pretty good one. Like, it had a really decent premise. They did it really well. It was original and inventive, and I thought that was actually very good. The Cinderella sequels were actually quite good. Asa Castro Studios says, how don't you like your old profile picture? So why didn't I like my old profile picture? It was just time to grow. Sometimes it's just time to grow on the platform. My old profile picture is the cartoon of me. I just felt it was time to grow. Walt Disney always, his what's the word I'm looking for? His modus operandi, his like business plan was always put your name on the door. So originally when I started this channel, it was Dave Lee Down Under. And I just want to put myself out there a little bit more. So we changed it to Dave Lee Down Under. I put my name on the door. Like, I put my name out there properly. And I guess in a way, changing the logo from an animated version of me to a live action version of me was, again, another move, another way for me to put my name on the door and put myself out there more. I guess, get a little bit more recognition, perhaps. Pardon me. Got hiccups. Well, I had one hiccup. Potato Productions actually asked who drew my old profile design. A really wonderful artist by the name of Sean Taylor Anderson. I think she just goes by Sean Taylor Sean Taylor Design, I think. I think that's what she goes by. I mean, she just goes by Sean Taylor now. She's a really wonderful artist and animator. A friend of mine, I went to high school with her. Really, really wonderful girl. And I had her do the old logo for me. Just wonderful, wonderful work from Sean. You can check her out on Instagram and all that stuff. She's got quite a good following. And she's just a brilliant, brilliant artist. She does a lot of really great like Disney style stuff, but also has her own like really unique style as well. I think she's fantastic. And yeah, she did do my old logo that was on the channel here. Julius van der Bosch asks, any tips for movies on Blu-ray? I just started collecting with the Star Wars films on 4K, Lord of the Rings, Hobbits movies, and the Harry Potter movies on Blu-ray. I'm an insane Disney fan. Any tips? Man, this is so tough to kind of suggest any. I'm trying to think of like ones that were really good. I think any of like the Disney animated ones that usually look really, really good on Blu-ray. Especially the classic ones, Snow White, Pinocchio, the Renaissance stuff, like Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Lion King, they all look just amazing. And then you get to stuff like, if you're talking live action movies on Blu-ray, Saving Private Ryan has always been one of my favorite transfers. I think it looks really gorgeous, looks even better in 4K. The Back to the Future movies look great. I don't know, just the big blockbuster movies usually are actually really good on Blu-ray. Off the top of my head, I just can't kind of really think about my favorite kind of transfers and stuff. But yeah, anything that's like big, bombastic is usually pretty good. The Mission Impossible movies are amazing. Make sure you pick them up on 4K. They look great on 4K. Ollie's random YouTube channel says, what is your favorite animation studio? I can't pick. It would have to be like Disney or Warner Brothers. I think they've just got such a vast back catalog of amazing stuff that I can't. My soft spot is with Disney Studio. It's where a lot of my studies been. You can see I've got all the Disney pop vinyls behind me here, over here. I love Disney, so I would probably say that Disney does take the cake for me. It's like at the top for me, but then the Warner Brothers studio is very, very close to it as well. I love the Looney Tunes and all that stuff. Grew up on all that too. Talking about growing up, Samster Madness says, are you familiar with All Grown Up? I'm assuming you mean like that Rugrats sequel series. I didn't watch all of it, but I have seen some of it, and I did enjoy it. I have it all on DVD as well. One day I'll probably watch it when I find time. I don't know, if I ever have kids one day, I will sit and watch them. I'll force them to watch a Rugrats, and I'll be forcing them to watch a Rugrats All Grown Up. If not, just to give myself an excuse to rewatch it, or in the case of All Grown Up, watch it for the very first time. I'm going to scroll up the chat a little bit and see if there's any big questions. There's a lot of questions here that I haven't missed. Again, if you want your question answered 100%, best way for me to see it and answer it is to send me in a super chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of pick and scroll and choose. I don't want to be on here for too much longer because my throat's about to go. It's getting quite late. I don't want to, every time I stay up too late doing one of these, I end up sleeping in, and I got a lot of work to do on this Flintstones evolution that I'm doing at the moment. I don't really want to sleep in tomorrow morning if I can help it. So I've just kind of gone up the chat a little bit. I'm just going to pick out some questions here. People asking about Rick and Morty. I've never watched that before. I've seen bits and pieces. Not really something that I really like. Nadel, or Nadel, sorry, again, apologize if I got your name wrong. Who's the better Donald, Clarence Nash or Tony Anselmo? Clarence Nash, hands down. Clarence Nash is the man. Clarence Nash was great. But I mean, we all grew up with Tony Anselmo as well. Tony Anselmo has done a very good Donald Duck, but I love Clarence Nash. Just trying to find more questions here. Ralston McKenzie asked, have you seen 101 Dalmatian Street? Not all of it. Again, I've just seen bits and pieces of it. I think it's quite a good little animated show. Not really the kind of thing that I would watch all of, but it is a quite good film. A series. Jack Robbins says, I can't wait for the Cruella movie next year. With Emma Stone, and I kind of have a feeling it's probably going to get pushed to 2022, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I love Emma Stone. She's a really fantastic actress, and I think she's really going to add a really fantastic spark to the role of Cruella. I'm really looking forward to see how that goes. Gamer Anthony asks, how are you talking while typing? Because I am just a master of all crafts and I can just multitask away. No, we have, like I said, we have got old mate Rick modding in the other room, and he's answering a lot of your questions down in the feed there. And sending me your questions over here as well. So again, everyone say hi, and thanks to old mate Rick for joining us tonight and modding away. I really appreciate that. Potato Productions, what is the next Explaining Disney you plan on doing? I actually have no plans for Explaining Disney at the moment. I've exhausted all the major Disney characters. My main focus is on Cartoon Evolution at the moment. I do have to say thank you, everyone. This is the first time where pretty much everyone has abided by my requests, which is don't spam it with requests for Cartoon Evolution characters. Don't just spam the chat in general. You've all been amazing tonight, which is fantastic. Usually you are all amazing, and it's just one or two bad eggs that just spoils it for everyone. But so thank you. There have been no bad eggs in here tonight. There's just one guy I did have to ban because he was spamming swear words and stuff. But yeah, everyone, you've been amazing tonight. Thanks so much. Or this morning, depending where you are. Mibbit Maker says the Roadrunner Evolution series, the Roadrunner Evolution video was especially excellent. Wish the ouch from Zoom at the top could have been included in the Wiley Reactions one though. Yeah, it comes down to me just kind of siphoning through episodes and just spending a couple of hours just finding bits and pieces, and I always miss a lot of stuff. I've got hundreds of cartoons I just need to filter through. And not all the great stuff does make the cut. But yeah, thank you. I actually did. I like the work I did on the Roadrunner one. That was one of my favorite ones. Unfortunately, it didn't perform very well. Like I feel like people have maybe burnt out on the Looney Tunes stuff. Let me know, please, in the comments if you have. And that's kind of partly the reason why I'm trying to break it up now with the Flintstones. And then next month in August, I was planning on doing SpongeBob to coincide with the film, but that film's pushed to next year, so I'm not going to be doing SpongeBob anytime soon now. I do have to think of something to do in August, and it probably won't be a Looney Tune, because I do feel like everyone's kind of burnt out on the Looney Tunes thing. Let me know. Just let me know. I would really like to know if you are like burnt out on the Looney Tunes stuff. And that's why maybe the last couple of Looney Tunes ones have underperformed. I'm not sure. Andrew Bailey, I'm unsubscribing. Why are you unsubscribing? That's not very nice. Please tell me, why are you unsubscribing? It's made me very sad. John Forbes says the Jetsons. The Jetsons will be done eventually. Yes, absolutely. Andrew Bailey says he's unsubscribing because I'm not listening to him. Again, Andrew, please. I did answer a couple of your questions earlier, and the thing is, I can't answer everybody's question on the chat because there's so many people in here. If you like, you can unsubscribe if you like, because I didn't answer a couple of your questions. That's completely fine. I don't mind. I don't like losing subscribers, but if you gotta go, you gotta go. That's fine. Tim Silverman, thanks, Rick. Love your work. So, Tim, thanking the modder right there, old mod Rick. Yeah. Lily Morton. Hi, Lily. Lily is a long-time subscriber as well. Thank you for joining me. Do you play video games? If so, which are some of your favorites? I don't play them that often. I do play video games sometimes if I want to wind down a bit. My favorite video games, like I love Crash Bandicoot. I grew up on Crash Bandicoot. Amazing. That's probably like one of my favorite games of all time. But I love stuff like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption. I played the Star Wars game recently, Jedi Fallen Order. I played the Spider-Man game, which was amazing. Like character-driven kind of action-adventure games, I just find fun and kind of relaxing. That's the kind of. But I don't play. I don't play a lot. I don't play as much as I would like to because I'm just always so busy. But I do like playing games. James Vanderbosch says, guys, don't unsubscribe. This guy's the best. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Please don't unsubscribe. I want more subscribers. Help me get more. I'd love it. I would love more. This is a very good question here from 9,512. Keen says, how do you think the movie theatre business will change going forward? Maybe a surge in drive-in theatre popularity. I think you're right on the money there. I know there's a lot of drive-ins have been opened like ahead of main theatres. I think there's going to be a big surge at the drive-in. We have one drive-in here in Melbourne, which is a really great place. I haven't been for a long time, but it is great. We do have one. And then I think we have one in Dramana as well, which is kind of down near the beach, like an hour and a half away from Melbourne here. I think the Dramana one's still here. Actually, it is, because I saw it on the news recently. It was like one of the first ones to open. I do feel like these drive-in theatres are probably going to get a big spike. Even when the main theatres are open, I feel like people are going to be more comfortable going to the movies in their car. But long-term ramifications, I feel like we are going to go through a big change here. And I think the fact is people are going to be slow to go back to the theatres because a lot of people are going to be worried about going back to the theatre. And I feel like I attended a Q&A session with Jeffrey Katzenberg 10 years ago now, almost 10 years ago now. Maybe a little bit less than that, 7 years or something. And he was asked by someone there, where do you see the future of cinema? And his answer was like something that is just so spot on, like almost 10 years later. And he said that they were really trying to make this push to have movies in theaters and available at home on the same day, everywhere, like around the world, which is what we're seeing happening now. We've got movies going straight to streaming. And then we have certain movies that are going to theaters and streaming on the same day. And this is a direction that the movie business, the movie industry has been trying to push, obviously, almost 10 years. But I think this whole pandemic thing has really given studios, especially Universal, who've been really heavy-handed with releasing stuff digitally and bypassing the theaters, much to the theaters' dismay. And I feel like this has given the studios even Disney dropped Artemis Fowl on Disney+. This is really giving studios that opportunity to experiment that they might not have had before. They might have been a little bit worried about losing money. Now with theaters closed, they have no other choice but to experiment and actually try it out. And I think coming out of this pandemic thing, coming out of this lockdown, whenever that's going to be, I feel like this long-term ramification is going to be a lot more movies are going straight to streaming and cinemas on the exact same day. Another thing Jeffrey Katzenberg said in this thing was, you would pay depending the quality, like you'd pay more depending on the quality or the size of your screen you were watching on, and that is just so spot on. This is something that the industry has been trying to push for years, and they finally got that excuse to do it. Coming out of this, it's going to be I don't think it'll kill cinemas. There will always be a place for cinemas and theaters, but I think there's now going to be this more. It's going to be this. It's going to be this climate where theaters and digital are coexisting. I think it's going to be really interesting to see where we go. William Urbanic says, do you want to make a video about collecting? How you collect, differences between editions, tips for beginners. I have sort of done stuff like this in the past, and it is something that I have thought about kind of doing, but it's like stuff that I don't really know how, but like what kind of way I would do it. And it's just one of those things that becomes a little bit too like overwhelming. And also that kind of stuff doesn't perform so well for me anymore. I don't know. I do like doing the collecting videos and stuff. But hopefully one day I would love to do a video. Like I love championing physical productions, and as much as I can help people collect physical, I definitely will. John Forbes says, I hope Mulan is saved for cinemas because it looks so uniquely cinematic. I'd be keen for more drive-in cinemas. I think it definitely will, Mulan. They will keep pushing Mulan. I will stand on this. I will die on this hill. Mulan will not go straight to streaming. They just pushed it back again. It was supposed to open July. They pushed it to August again. They pushed it to August now. I don't think it'll be out in August. I don't think it'll be out this year. At the earliest, maybe like November, December for Christmas maybe, but I don't see that coming out this year. I don't see big movies coming out this year. But I will die on the hill that Mulan will open in cinemas. There's like no way that they will. That is such a huge, expensive movie that's going to make mad money. They're not going to drop that on Disney Plus as an exposable film. No way. I'm just going to ask a few more questions because I have been on here quite a while now. It's 12:30. I don't want to be up too late or I will end up sleeping in. So I'm going to take like 5 more questions, I think. And as you can hear, my throat's going to be croaky. We'll take 5 more questions. I'm going to just kind of pull them from the feed. If anyone does have a question they absolutely want to answer 100%, best way to do that is a super chat, as it says down there, for a guaranteed answer for any question within reason. I will answer the question. I'm just going to take 5 more. But yeah, if you do want it 100% answered, super chat is the best way to do that. Just kind of see if there's anything I haven't answered here. Joseph of Gahul says, hi, what's your least favorite foreign film? I don't know if I can say I have a least favorite one. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I enjoy most. I'm kind of picky with my foreign films. I don't watch heaps of them, but I do watch my fair share. I love French films. I love... I haven't watched a lot of Italian cinema, which is strange because I have Italian heritage. Actually, I did that ancestry DNA. My mother is Italian. Her parents are full Italian, like first generation Italian. And I came out with my ancestry thing like 35% French or something. But where's the French come from? So I actually have more French in me than Italian, which is crazy. And we think French has just kind of come from like migration over the years, and whether that be within mum's Italian side of the family or dad's Australian side, which is like dad's Australian, but then there's that English heritage and like the European heritage, and we think there's some French kind of got mixed up in there, and there's like more French than Italian. I think it's crazy. Maybe that's why I like the French films more than I really enjoy the Italian movies. I don't know, but I don't think I'd have a least favorite foreign film. But I do. But I'm gonna say my favorite foreign movies. I love Amélie, which is a really beautiful French film. I love another one that Audrey Tautou did, which was called what was it called? I'm trying to think of the English name. Mood Indigo. Mood Indigo. Amazing, really just kind of like under the radar film that I feel like has gone underappreciated. It's got Romain Duris in it as well, and Omar Sy, who I think is fantastic. It's directed by Michel Gondry. Fantastic filmmaker. Like, check that movie out if you can. Mood Indigo. Please check it out. I won't attempt to pronounce the French name because I know I'll just absolutely butcher it. But yeah, I can't pick a least favorite one, I don't think. Jake says, "Hey Dave, I'm from Adelaide. Love the videos, bro. Keep up the amazing work." Thanks so much, Jake. I really appreciate it. I won't count that as one of my 5 questions. I will take 4 more questions. I'm going to kind of scroll up and see if there's any that are, like, good ones that I've missed up here. It's tough. There's a lot of chatter, and I'm trying to like filter questions from. Here's a good one. Lewis Thompson says, "Do you think Once Upon a Time should get another season, but made exclusively for Disney Plus?" I don't think so. Leave it where it is. I mean, I only got through like 4 seasons of it, and then wasn't really enjoying it that much. And from what I know of that last season was like dreadful once all the cast dropped off. I don't think it needs another season. I don't think it does need another season, really, even if it is for Disney Plus, unless they got all of them back and actually had like decent stories and they had something new to do with it. Let's find another question. Lily Morton says, "What's your favorite comic run or maybe a character that you always enjoy reading?" Thanks, Dave. Love your channel. Thanks so much, Lily. I appreciate all your support. I see your comments all the time. Long-time subscriber. My favorite comic run or character, I love anything that's like early Marvel, like 1960s Marvel, like the early stuff. Like I've read all that really early, like Stan Lee, Jack Kirby era kind of stuff. And I really love the Ant-Man comics. I think Ant-Man is probably my favorite comic character. I just think that Ant-Man, those early Ant-Man comics are really fun. And second to that is probably like the Thor comics. I really quite enjoyed. Even though I'm not a huge Thor fan in the films. I mean, I love Ragnarok. I love what they've done with the character now. But I really love those early, like Jack Kirby, like drawn Thor comics. And I think Iron Man as well, like those early Iron Man ones, even like Iron Man comics right up to like the 70s, the 80s were really, really dark and just really great character building stories. The only comics I didn't really enjoy that much are the Captain America ones. I always feel like they're just a little bit bland. The later ones I loved. The Death of Captain America arc was great, which was by, his name has escaped me for some reason right now. I'm trying to find it. I have it here. Ed Brubaker. Really amazing run of comics. How many questions I got left now? 3? I think 3 questions. I'm going to take 3 more. I'm specifically trying to find questions from people I haven't answered questions for before. I think I actually did answer a question from this guy before, though, but I will answer anyway because it's a good question. Jack Robbins says, what is your favorite genre of movie? I can't pick. I don't really have a favorite genre of film. I watch everything. I watch any kind of movie from any genre, any era. But I'm a comedy guy. I really like comedy, especially if it's like really well-written comedy, like character-driven comedy. Or I'm a big like Western fan. I like this like kind of new sci-fi that they're doing at the moment, stuff like Interstellar, Gravity, Life, The Martian, Ad Astra, that kind of like new kind of neo sci-fi, like existential kind of stuff. I really love that. But I watch all kinds of movies from just everything, really, all genres, all eras. I particularly love classic films from the 1940s, like film noir stuff. So yeah, I think we got two more questions left. Two more questions. I'm trying to find one. I'm back at the point where I dropped out. It has actually cut me off. The whole chat actually, I lost all the chat prior to the dropout. What we're going to do right now is we're going to do a fun game. It's called Send Me a Question, and I'm literally going to answer, not just yet, I'm literally going to answer the next two questions that come up on the chat. Not yet. When I say go, I'm going to answer the next two questions that come up on the chat, and then I'm going to go. If you get in with a super chat, you're going to be the best, and I will answer that question. But otherwise, I'm going to count. I'll give you 10 seconds to think of a question. Get your questions ready now. So I'll give you 10, 9. Don't go on 1. This is like your thinking time, your processing time to think of some questions. So 10, 9, 8. Right away. Write your questions. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I hope you've all got some good questions there. Someone jumped the gun and said, "What's up, Doc?" I'm not counting that as a question. Okay, so I'm hoping you've all got some questions in there. I'm kind of keen to see how this works, or if it's a big flop. Have you all got some questions written there in your chat box? When I count to 1, I want you all to send me your questions, and I'm just going to answer the first 2 that drop through. So I'm going to count you down from 5, okay? So get your questions ready. There's a lot of people jumping the gun. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. Okay, when we get to 1, you just all hit enter. Send your question. I'm going to answer the first 2 that come up. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm on a little bit of a delay here, so I'm just going to wait for the questions. If there even is any questions. Was a flop? You failed me, guys. You have failed me. You have failed me. All right, we got like 2 questions come through. What are you doing, guys? I thought it'd be fun. I'm never doing that again. All right, so we've got a couple have come through. We'll take this one from Colonel says, "What is your favorite horror movie?" My favorite horror movie is The Shining. Love that movie. Absolutely fantastic. And Deluxe Collectibles says hi. He also says, "Why did you pursue YouTube?" I sort of answered this before a little bit, but I just kind of feel like I found a place in the market. I'm getting... old mate Rick is telling me that heaps of questions apparently came through, but I must have had like a massive delay on them. Actually, it has a lot did actually come through in the end. That's strange. The YouTube system dogged me. Absolutely dogged me. But anyway, yeah, YouTube. I've tried my hand at trying to work in the film industry, which is a dead industry here in Australia, essentially. It's so hard to get in. I've tried my hand working in television. I've tried anything you can imagine to just try and get into like making films, making stuff, making my own stuff and putting it out there. And YouTube's just a market that I found that I had some sort of, kind of like a mild success with. And it's just something I'm sticking with now because I really love it. I love making these videos. I love this connection. I feel it's like the new media. It's the new way to make content, and it's the new way to I love like the instant feedback that I get from it, and just like the whole community aspect of it. And I just really like what I'm doing. I really like the videos I'm making. And I love the fact that I'm actually getting really good reception on the stuff that I'm making. And I get like immediate feedback from you guys, which is amazing. Really, really amazing. So that's kind of why I've pursued it. It's something that's actually working out for me. And I'm going to just keep trying to ride it. And hopefully we take off even more. I'd love to get to 100,000 subscribers. Like my stats were tracking. I should have had like, if they kept rolling, I was hoping to have like 100,000 by the end of this year. But I feel like the pandemic thing has maybe slowed the cogs down a little bit. A lot of the content that I planned to do, I haven't been able to do. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of reeling from that. I've noticed a lot of the big creators even are getting, their cogs have slowed down. There's less viewers and stuff. I don't want to make any excuses, but anyway, I do hope that hopefully by like mid next year I'll be on 100,000 subscribers, and that's when I consider this thing like, I guess, a success. Once you pass that and you get that recognition from YouTube with that play button, I feel like that's when I can maybe say I'm a YouTuber. But right now I feel like this is still something that I'm just grinding at. I'm still just trying to get it. I'm still trying to find my place in this platform, and just making stuff that you guys like, and I'm enjoying making it. And I see no end in sight unless I'm literally not making enough money to live off. I'm doing okay at the moment. Not doing fantastic. Like, it's not amazing. Like, certainly not PewDiePie levels. But if I can keep going, can keep sustaining, I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy to find myself on here. Deluxe Collectibles, thanks for answering my question. Your Cartoon Evolution videos are amazing. Thanks so much. I really, really appreciate that. Look, guys, I am going to cap it here. I'm capping it. What's this? It says 2 hours, so it's an hour and a half because we had that half-hour countdown first. This is kind of what I thought we'd get to. We'd get to it like an hour and a half. Thank you all for joining me today. Thank you all for sending my questions. It's time for me to go to bed. My throat's... I feel like I got razor blades in my throat at the moment. Been talking nonstop for an hour and a half. Thank you so much for joining me. And can everyone thank old mate Rick again for modding the chat? I really appreciate it. He's up late with me tonight, doing this and helping out, sending questions through, all that stuff, chatting with you guys in the feed and everything. I really appreciate that. And of course, I appreciate everyone who's come in here. I appreciate all the super chats, all that kind of stuff. It's been great to be here today. I've had fun. I don't know when I'll do another one of these, probably another couple of weeks' time. I don't like to do them too often because I feel like we burn out on them. Like to keep you guys in suspense, so maybe 2 or 3 weeks time we'll do another one of these, and we'll have another fun Q&A session. Until then, guys, please keep enjoying my videos. I really appreciate it. I've got the Flintstones I've got the Flintstones Evolution video coming up on the 7th, so that's not this coming Tuesday, the Tuesday after. We're going to have a bunch of Flintstones voice evolutions coming as well. We're going to have another Disney ranking video next month, hopefully, and a couple of other little bits and pieces that I'm going to be dropping as well. Movie reviews, hopefully some Blu-ray reviews, Blu-ray updates, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming up, and I do please ask you, please watch the videos. Please continue to support. I love it. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I do hope that this Flintstone video, this Flintstone Evolution does well, because I feel like the last couple of like the Looney Tunes ones especially didn't perform so well. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's because people are burnt out on Looney Tunes or people just weren't that interested in the characters. I'm hoping the Flintstones one does well. So I hope you guys enjoy that one. And I was also going to say, I do hope that my I can get this podcast. I do hope that I can get this podcast up and running very, very soon. I just need to kind of workshop what kind of format that's going to take. I'm really excited to get that launched. And please listen to that. Please support me on that platform too, because I'd really appreciate that. I'd really love to be able to like have a successful podcast as well. So look, guys, thanks so much. I really appreciate all the questions. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all those people who stuck in the chat during the whole duration of the 30-minute countdown. That's awesome. You guys are the best. Thank you, and I will see you on the next one, or as my mate Tim Silverman would say, laters on the Menjay. Okay, see you later, guys. Take it easy.